Call this meeting of the Upshur County Board of Education to order. First order of business is to stand and say the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Suter, would you please read the mission statement?
The mission of the Upshur County Schools is to provide academic preparation, social responsibility, employability, and a desire of lifelong learning.
Thank you. Please let the clerk note that all members are present with the exception of Dr. Almond. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda and/or agenda adjustments.
And President, we do have one personnel addition that's on in your packet.
Okay. I would also like to move to strike item 15 and 16.
I second that motion.
Do we need to vote on that?
I don't,
When you approve the agenda,
I think this is,
Yeah.
that's what takes
Okay,
care of.
all right. All right, anything else? All right, could I have a motion to accept those additions?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from our February 22nd and February 28th meetings. You have those as your attachment A.
Motion to approve as presented?
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Item 6, acknowledgements and/or announcements. Upshur highlights.
Our girls are doing well. We're hoping they continue.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to come home with a big trophy.
Listening to the live stream at work, typing away and keep my ear on it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know who they play yet?
No, we'll know tonight.
Tonight's 7:15 game? Okay.
Martinsburg or Wheeling Park.
All right. Good luck to them.
Yeah.
Item 7, unfinished business.
Well, we smoked the lines at Rock Cave, and we did find some wax rings that have dried up and replaced them. But we believe we're just going to have to relocate the vent pipe. The new systems are so efficient, they're just drawing in all the air surrounding them. And we believe that that's the primary source of what's going on. So, that'll be done on a nice day, and they have time. Project at the middle school, we got a little bit of good news yesterday. We believe that we can just replace the hot water pipe at this time, which is a lot less work as far as plumbing, the boys and girls restroom facilities and all that would be involved with that, and the home ec. So we think the leak is just with the hot water. So initially, that'll be the only pipe that they are going to replace. And so that'll speed up the work and be a lot cheaper.
Wonderful.
So, and again, that's going to take place the week of spring break.
Are we still going to replace the valves that are coming in?
We are pretty, well, while they have the water shut off, we've already decided we know we're going to do one valve.
Okay.
And that's in that closet under the stairs that we were in. And if there's time, we'll go ahead and do the one in the gymnasium.
Okay.
But if not, that'll be a summertime project.
Okay.
So the things are moving ahead and looking good, so.
Great.
And two other things. I'm sorry.
About the mowing.
Yeah, I was going to just, first of all, before that, every time you think you're getting ahead to something, it's like you're home, The cooler at the warehouse, not the freezer, we replaced the freezer, but the cooler at the warehouse is now in really bad shape. And so we're probably going to have to replace it this summer. Mr. Leggett, who is our HVAC guy, said that there's leaks in the Freon line, and you can't get Freon after a certain date, and there's no guarantee, and we're discussing it today at the office, that there's no guarantee that even if we were able to get a lot of Freon to keep it running for another year or two, if we have a big leak and we lose all that, then we would have no more Freon. So if Freon goes out of use in July, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been some discussion whether you could use the new Freon in it, but
But it's really in bad shape. Plus, the roof of the cooler has been repaired so many times that we're afraid it might just collapse at some point.
so the decision is to keep putting money into keeping that going for a couple of years, or do you put that towards
Do
something?
we have any
that's gonna last you?
idea
Well, look at
the amount for replacement?
We got some quotes last year because we knew it was getting bad, and it's around $40,000. We're trying to get some quotes from several companies. And also, there's been some discussion about whether you can put the cooler in and use the concrete floor, or whether you have to have something on top of that, and that can save some money too. The quotes we have are for putting with a floor of its own instead of not using the concrete floors. You can't do that with a freezer, I guess, unless you do
Right.
something special with it. Otherwise, it sucks all the moisture up out through the floor and will ruin the floor eventually. But with the coolers, they're not as low a temperature, so you don't have that concern. So we might be able to save some money by not putting a floor in it. But we're gonna get bids with and without the floor, and then make that decision after we get this.
And the other thing, and I don't know if George wants to discuss it, I'll start it off. We also discussed another cost savings, the possibility of having the custodians go back to mowing, and keeping the contract only with the two big schools, middle and high school, because of the vast area that they mow. And we, well, if you'd like to,
If you want that, Mayor.
yeah, well, I can share it with you. We compared what was paid last year as a bid, what it would cost to do just the middle and high school. And then the problem is, we haven't had our custodians mowing for many years now. And most of them have a riding mower, but they haven't been used probably in 4 or 5 years. And we have a couple that are gonna need,
This is my 6th or 7th.
Oh,
year, and
seventh.
They were mowing before,
Yeah.
so it's maybe.
plus we have to replace some mowers. And we're thinking the cost of gas, repairs to the machines, and the difference, what did we come out with? The
Like
difference.
$10,000 or $12,000.
Yeah, it would only be $10,000 or $12,000 we'd be paying to have it done professionally. And we don't have to worry about machines, gasoline, any of that peripheral stuff that you have to have for that.
Yeah.
And they do a good job. They keep it maintained. So we're looking at getting the bids, and we'll bring them to you.
Great.
And then we can decide at that time, but we just wanted you to be aware.
Okay. Thank you very much. How are we with the building at the board office? I know that the winds,
We reattached the metal that blew over.
Okay.
Blew up.
That peeled.
We resecured it.
So we're no worse off than we were.
We never- Yeah, the wind almost took care of your request for you.
Yeah, it was like right after that.
Oh, one project that is taking place, that slipped my mind, up at the softball field at the middle school, there's an antiquated building. It's a 2-story building. The first floor is a block section of the building. The top is T11 or T111 siding, whatever it's called. The floor is rotted through, the roof is rotting, and we have the shed crew dismantling it now. And we're going to maintain the block and hopefully down the road put a shed roof on it and use it for storage, put on a garage door to utilize what's there. And but that's taking place right now.
Back to the mowing, I'm wondering if we haven't used our equipment versus allowing it to just completely ruin.
Well,
If maybe we shouldn't look at, if we're gonna contract, if we shouldn't look at selling.
oh yeah, that's a
Our
distinct,
equipment.
yeah.
I
We thought
I
about
thought that
that.
had occurred to me too, and I think you're right, where it's just sitting there, the tires are rotting off of them, and kind of stuff, so probably we ought to see if we can't sell them.
We can do that. Do like a surplus sale.
Someone with buses, 2 for 1 special. With the buses.
Anything else on any of that information? If not, we will move on to item 8, financials. That would be your attachments B, C, and D. Mr. Carver?
Unless you have questions about the budgetary items or the payment of the bills, I'll move on to the levy rates. This is a statutorily required meeting that we are required to hold during March. At the conclusion of this meeting, we will recess rather than adjourn. And then this meeting will be reconvened in April, at which time you would presumably approve the levy rates. This is a bit of a formality because you really don't have a whole lot of control over the levy rates. The assessed values are provided to us by the assessor, and that's done by the assessor's office. The regular levy rates are set by the legislature, and you can't change them even if you want to. The excess levy rates are set by the levy call that was approved by the voters 3 years ago. You could, I guess, lower them if you felt the need to do that. But other than presenting the information to you, and then after the meeting tomorrow, I will send the levy rate sheets to the state auditor's office and to the Office of School Finance of the West Virginia Department of Education for their approval. And they'll look them over to see that they've been calculated correctly and that there's no errors or anything. And there's been a time or two when I have made an error, but normally they say they're good to go. I have to publish them in the newspaper. This is when you reconvene the meeting, there'll be a public hearing. And we'll hopefully have the budget at that time too, so we'll maybe do both at the same time. But just a little bit about the information in the levy rates. There's in your packet. I have another handout for you. As we've talked over the last couple of years, the assessed values have been kind of yo-yoing. And again, we're on the downward trend of the yo-yo. Although they went down, it's not a disaster because they didn't go down a whole lot. The assessed values went down about $52 million from last year's rates. That's about 4.51% decrease. Class 2 property, and before I start talking about the classes of property, Class 2 property is owner-occupied residential and farm property, including personal property. Class 3 is all real and personal property outside municipalities, exclusive of the Class 1 and Class 2. Class 1 is no longer used. That was intangible property that the legislature decided they weren't going to tax anymore because it's still in the code. Class 4 is real and personal property inside municipalities, exclusive of Class 1 and Class 2 property. And the rates for personal property are set again by the legislature, and the Class 3 and Class 4 property rates are double the Class 2 rates. And that gets important when you get into looking at the assessed values by class. Class 2 property increased by $10 million, so that's residential. That means people are buying cars and adding on to their houses, building new houses, and so that's a good thing. Class 3 property decreased by $55 million, and Class 4 property decreased by $8 million. And I suspect a lot of that has to do with the oil, gas, and coal industries. A lot of real estate is, the mineral rights are based on the market value of the coal and gas over a 5-year average. And of course, coal prices have bottomed out, and natural gas has been kind of up and down. It's up now, but I think with the time they did the averages, it was probably down. So hopefully next year, those markets will improve and we'll see an improvement in the property taxes. There's some weird things going on with utility property because it goes up and down, and moves, where the city will go up and the county will go down and vice versa. And so those numbers have been kind of bizarre. And that includes cell phone towers and things like that, so. But the impact of that is that our regular levy revenue compared to last year's assessed values will decline by $407,000. Now, the regular levy revenue is used in the state aid calculation. So when your local levy rates go down and that revenue goes down, your state aid goes up, and they use 90% of that local revenue to offset the amount of state aid. So we only will lose 10% of that $400,000 in our budget, so that's a $40,000 decrease. So the difference will be made up by an increase in state aid revenue. The regular, or the excess levy revenue decreased by $210,000, so we will lose that money. Because that's locally raised, and so between the two, we're gonna lose about $250,000. Not good, but not a disaster. So, and hopefully that will turn around. And we saw a pretty good increase last year and the year before, so we had a 2-year period of increases, so we're going back down a little bit. We're a lot better off than a lot of counties. There's a lot of counties that are seeing massive decreases. And then there's Doddridge County that's just sitting here on top of a gold mine. They get no state aid revenue because they have so much local tax revenue.
Crazy.
But unless you have any questions, we'll tomorrow send these out to the state auditor's office and the West Virginia School Board, and wait for their okay, and I will start the process to publish those in the paper, and then we'll reconvene in April, and hopefully you'll be able to approve those rates.
Thank you for your work, Mr. Carver.
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion to accept those items.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 9, the consent agenda, we have nothing tonight. Item 10, the approval to sell the surplus buses and equipment. You have that as attachment E.
This is the time getting ready to replace some of our buses. We'll be buying 2 new buses and getting rid of 2 buses and an old Jeep that we have.
We, when they cut the state aid this year, we took that out of the money we were given to buy buses. So we anticipated that and told them only to buy 2 instead of 3 this year. So they tried to sell as many as they buy in order to, they're kind of cramped at the bus garage. They had no space to park any more spares. We were talking about one of the special ed buses, maybe selling it. It's a smaller number of passenger bus, but we are fearful we might have to add back our route when we know what the final numbers are in the fall. So they decided they wanted to hold on to that in case we needed a spare. We've been talking with Stockard Youth about.
Yes. They have I think I mentioned before that their buses, I guess, a bus that we gave them years ago, and they said it's beyond, they are getting to the point where you can't repair it anymore. So they have asked that if we were willing to let them, have one of these or whatever when we get to that point.
Yeah, and I'm not sure they will want these because these model years, there's an issue with them that they're rusting out. The frames are rusting out, and the state inspector won't approve those anymore. So we wouldn't.
Well, these are actually bigger buses than what.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't want that size bus anyway.
Yeah. We told them they could come look. I talked to the mayor, and he said they'll come down and look at them.
This 2000 model, it's turning to rust out. There's a significant difference in mileage
Yes.
between the two.
Well, it's a model year newer.
Yeah, it's like 85,000 miles less.
The buses we're buying now, they're coating or doing an coating on them to try, before we start using them, to try to alleviate that issue. And of course, the manufacturer's been aware of that issue, and I guess they've been working to fix that as well. But we had a period of 2 or 3 years where that was an ongoing issue.
Now,
I think this is the last of those.
now why is rusting out? Just from like, salt on the road, things like that?
Well, that's the environment we have here in West Virginia, but the older buses didn't, it was just that, I'm not sure if there was a flaw in the manufacturing process.
Okay.
I'm not sure there isn't even a class action lawsuit going on about those, but that was there was like a 2 or 3 year period where there was an issue with those.
Now, if we get bids, and let's just say, for example, they're a lot lower than what we expected, are we able to refuse the bids
Yes.
and request new ones? Okay.
But the people that buy these are pretty knowledgeable about what they're buying.
Right.
And I think they're aware of the rust issues, and I think that has depressed the bids we've been getting the last couple of years. So I'm not real hopeful we're going to see robust bids for these, but we may be fooled by that, but we'll have to see what happens.
Any other questions? If not, could I have a motion to accept this, the selling of these buses and other equipment?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, correspondence information.
Been gone for a week. I don't have a whole lot. I've been signing my name all day as I got back. I would recommend again that the board keep an eye on the legislature and see what's going on as far as education legislation, because there's a lot out there right now.
I actually talked to Bill Hamilton on Monday about the school choice bills that are up, and he said it just, didn't make sense for rural West Virginia, and so he said he would be, opposing school choice, which I asked him to do, because I told him, we don't have enough kids, and any dollars that we don't have, because we don't have enough kids, more kids are pulling out, it's not gonna make any sense for us, so we did talk about that. He was getting ready to go to the floor, but we had a few minutes. It was a good conversation.
There's ones that are similar, there's multiple of
Yeah,
those
I
bills.
think I talked to him like 3 or 4.
One of them allows us to, if a kid is homeschooled, we still get a percentage of the
Yeah, I
money.
saw that one too.
Mm.
That
So,
one I wouldn't mind.
in that instance, it's a little better.
Yeah, that would be great.
Mhm.
All right. Personnel, that would be your attachment F. It's rather slim this evening. Do I have a motion to accept it as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Second?
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Delegation, public comments, there were none. Board member comments?
I saw, what was it, on Tuesday, Frank Creek was at Wesleyan, and it was so wonderful to watch the 2nd through 5th graders building rockets to launch in the gym, and then I talked to Mrs. I just know her as Bowers, but she's
Call.
yeah, sorry. She said the kindergartners were in the planetarium and the first graders were watching a movie in Haima. So she was saying that there were only like maybe 20 or 30 kids who didn't get to go on the incentive day. So that was really great. It was so fun to see them all building the rockets like out of like rubber bands and paper and just the tubes in the gym. It was great.
I went over as well and sat through the first. There was someone from NASA who presented just a kind of a motivational type of statement to all the students, and believe in yourself was the main idea, but it was nice.
Yeah. I think it's important to
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
get them out of school and have a little bit of fun and
Yeah.
see the college and planetarium and all that, so, very cool.
And this isn't my comment time, but it reminded me that the 8th grade today was touring the high school in Fred Everly. And they're like,
Big
walking,
things.
yeah, big eyes, like, okay, this is what we're gonna be doing next year.
That's great.
All right, any other comments? Please note that the next board meeting is Tuesday, March 28th at 6 PM. I'll forget that before then. At Buchanan Academy Elementary School. At this time, I would entertain a motion to recess this meeting until April 18th, 2017 at 7 PM in this location. Do I have a motion?
Motion to recess?
Second?
Just a second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are now recessed.